Welcome back to another video. I'm back from Thailand now. Some of you may have seen the videos I did out there. I hope you enjoyed them. And today we're getting straight back into another video. And this one is going to be a video on ranking different martial arts on self-defense, or how effective they would be in a self-defense scenario. Let me start this off by saying I'm not saying that one art is definitely better than the other at self-defense. This is just, I'm going to go from a generalist point of view. This is in general. Obviously, it is all about the practitioner, not the art. So I'm going to say that now before I start offending anyone with my rankings here. All about the practitioner, but I'm coming from a very general perspective. Now that that's out of the way, I might make this a series where I rank different martial arts on different things. So like this one is just for self-defense, and then I might make another one where I rank the martial arts on how effective they would be in MMA. Before we begin, if you're someone that's struggling to get your kicks higher and you want to open up your hips and get the kicks you've always dreamed of, then go ahead to the first link in the description of this video and check out my flexibility program. So many people have been saying how it's completely changed their martial arts and turned it around. So if you want to be one of those people, then hit that first link and try out my 12-week flexibility program. Okay, so we've got our tier list here. Now, I didn't make this tier list. I found it. So some of these martial arts that we've got down the bottom here, I'm not actually entirely sure what they are. We're going to have to work it out. But I did edit the bars on the side here, make it more specific for the self-defense. So at the top, we've got most effective. So that basically just, most effective in a self-defense scenario, you're probably going to be all right. Next one down, we've got probably would work. So, you're probably going to be all right. Maybe sometimes you might have a bit of trouble, but most likely you're going to be okay. Third one down, we've got slightly above average. Now this one, you're probably decently capable of protecting yourself with this art. Yeah, you're slightly above average. Next, you've got 50-50 chance. Now, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting your phone nicked, getting robbed, getting some money stolen out your wallet. This art might not protect you if it gets put into this category. So yeah, be careful if you're getting into these kind of realms now. Under that, we've got you probably getting robbed. At this point, your art is most likely not going to help you out here. You're probably going to get stuff nicked, and you should maybe consider changing martial arts if your art falls into this category. I'm only joking. And last of all, we've got just run away, bro. This one, there is no chance even fighting. If you do the art that gets put into this category, you might as well just quit. It's not even a martial art. Do dancing instead. I'm only joking. Obviously, people do martial arts for different reasons. Some people might not even do martial arts for the self-defense aspect. So even if you do an art that does get put into the lower categories, again, it's not, my opinion is not final either. Like, my opinion don't really mean much, but it doesn't matter because some people just do it for a bit of fitness. Some people do it for a bit of fun. It is not all about if it works in a fight. If you enjoy it, do it. It's like if you enjoy tap dancing, who's going to tell you tap dancing doesn't work in a fight? It doesn't matter. You just do it because you love it. So it's the same thing here. If you enjoy doing it, don't let anyone, especially don't let this list put you off doing your martial art, because that everyone does it for different reasons. All right, so we're just going to start off and we're going to go in order. So we're going to go along this list. And again, I didn't make this list, these pictures here. So some of them I'm not actually entirely sure what they are, but we'll work it out as we go. So first of all, we've got wrestling. Now, where are we going to put wrestling? I wouldn't say most effective, probably would work, slightly above average. See, I'm not going to put it, there's no way I'm putting it down here. I'm not putting it in these three down here. So it's going to be either slightly above average, probably would work, or most effective. I'm going to say probably would work. And if I get through the list and I change my mind, I can move things around. But for now, we're going to go wrestling probably would work. I'm not going to say it's the most effective, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Probably would work because wrestling, if you get into that kind of scenario, you can shoot for a takedown. And most times, if someone's not trained, you're probably going to succeed in getting a takedown. That's why I'm putting it in probably would work. Next up, we've got boxing. Now, boxing is going straight up here. Without a doubt, in my opinion, the most effective martial art for self-defense, because boxing uses hands, punches only. And 99.9% of the fights in the street or altercations is going to start with your hands. No one is going to start off on the floor trying to take your leg and get you in a grip hold. A fight always starts on the feet, and it most often starts with hands. So boxing, being a good boxer, having good hands is going to be the most efficient because, 1-2 punches and you can get out of there. So having the most effective hands in the game, which boxing does have, in my opinion, is going to put boxing at the most effective spot. Okay, next up we've got MMA. Now this is a tough one because a lot of me wants to put it up here with most effective, because obviously it is going to be extremely effective because you train everything in MMA. But then again, like I said with boxing, oh no, put it up there. Okay, MMA has got to be up there really, hasn't it? Because if you do MMA, you're kind of trained for any scenario. If it starts with the hands, you're trained in striking. If it does go to the ground, you're obviously going to be trained in Jiu-Jitsu and stuff like that. So yeah, okay, MMA goes up the top. I'm going to put that up at most effective because that's going to be up there. Next up, we've got karate. Am I going to be biased and put it up there? No, I'm not. As much as I like karate, I do it myself. As much as I'm really want to be biased and put it up the top, up here, I'm going to say I'm going to say 50-50 chance. The only reason I'm saying 50-50 chance is because as a whole, there are so many McDojos and so many dojos that don't teach karate properly that there really is just a 50-50 chance, like whether you're in a good dojo or a bad dojo. Now, obviously I do karate and I'd like to think that I could defend myself if it came to it, but not everyone trains like that doing karate. Not everyone trains, full contact, hitting stuff with full intent. So for that reason, karate, as much as it pains me, is going in a 50-50 chance. You might get done. You might be all right. Depends how you've trained it. Okay, next up, we've got Muay Thai. Now, I think I'm going to put Muay Thai there. Probably would work. I'm not putting it at most effective. As much as that might trigger some people, it is not going in the most effective because Muay Thai fighters are not renowned for having the best punches. They're obviously very well conditioned, brilliant fighters. It's not going in most effective because the strongest point of Muay Thai fighters is going to be their leg conditioning and their kicks, kind of. So, and in a fight, in a street altercation, you're not really going to be using your kicks, even low kicks, leg kicks. Like, obviously they're still going to work, but it still wouldn't be my first port of call to use leg kicks in a street fight. I would always start with the hands, which is why boxing is at the top and Muay Thai is going to go just under it with wrestling. In fact, I'm going to move wrestling down. Wrestling is going slightly above average. Because it's not striking, I think in the street, all altercations are usually going to start or are usually can be solved with a strike. So, sorry all you wrestlers if I've just offended you. Great art, but slightly above average. I'm not saying that's slightly above the average person. I'm saying in martial arts, that's slightly above average in terms of a street situation. So, I have just put karate at 50-50, so I don't get too offended. I have just self-roasted as well. BJJ. That is a tough one. BJJ is going to go with karate, 50% chance. Sorry, some of these arts have got to go down there. BJJ, again, great art, and I know I would get turned into a pretzel if I was rolling with someone that does BJJ, obviously. But street scenario, you don't start on the ground. Like, you don't start in a grappling position where a BJJ practitioner would excel. You're going to start at a distance, so you're going to need to have your strikes on point first. And obviously I know a lot of BJJ practitioners will practice striking arts as well, but if you're solely doing BJJ and you're using that as your self-defense, obviously if it comes to grapples, you're going to be absolutely fine. But that's why I'm saying 50-50 chance, because 50% chance it does come into grapples, you're going to be absolutely okay. But on the 50% chance that your opponent can throw a decent punch and is not going to let you get close, maybe BJJ would fall behind a bit. Again, don't take offense to any of these ratings, please. I'm not the martial arts guru. I don't know everything. So this is simply just me putting martial arts to a list. Again, no disrespect to any of these arts. BJJ is incredible if paired with other stuff, same as other arts. Like in MMA, BJJ has proven to be very effective, but that's MMA. That's completely different to the street. BJJ might be higher up in an MMA ranking, which I might do in a later video. Jiu-Jitsu. I'm just going to put it next to BJJ. A similar point that I just made, basically. Jiu-Jitsu is gonna go 50-50 for the same reason. Kickboxing is going to go probably would work. I'm going to put it with Muay Thai because it's fairly similar to Muay Thai, and again, striking, all fights are generally going to start with striking. Kickboxers are not going to be as focused on punching as boxing. That's why it's not going in the most effective, but yeah, probably would work. Kickboxing, that's where it's going. Judo. I'm going to go slightly above average next to wrestling. No, actually, no. Judo, I'm going to go probably would work. Now, you might think that I've just completely gone against my point of a grappling art being not as effective, but judo, the reason I've put it there is because I think judo is quite underrated, and I think they focus quite obviously heavily on throws, which are good for self-defense, and also when they throw, you'll see they land on top of them, like, sometimes knocking all the wind out of them, and they hold them there, which is, again, good for self-defense. If you can get hold of someone, throw them, stay on them until maybe if someone comes to help, police or whatever, people come to help. I think that's a very good art to have in self-defense. Again, obviously, like I said, most scenarios might not start close, but if someone does come and grab you, judo, you can quickly, put yourself into a position, hip throw, straight over, that's it, done. Judo, a great one. Taekwondo, 50-50. Same reason as karate, exactly the same reason. I know Taekwondo people that would absolutely be able to defend themselves in a real situation, but then also, same as karate, there are a lot of McDojos in Taekwondo. So I feel like that half of the art brings down the good half. I feel a bit bad putting some arts down here, and I don't want anyone to get offended because, this tier list is just on purely, I think, self-defense in the street. So next up, we've got, what does that say? Kudo. I've heard of Kudo. I'm not entirely sure what it entails. Let's watch a video. Okay, so they're in gis. They're doing a mixture of striking and throwing, it looks like. And it looks like full contact. And locks, lock holds as well, submissions. Back kick there, we love that. Knees. From this 20-second clip that I've just watched, I'm getting the impression that it's pretty much a martial art that entails most things like throws, strikes, knees, elbows, everything like that. So and it seems full contact. So that seems, in my opinion, I may be wrong. I did just watch 20 seconds of it, but from that clip, I'm gonna put that in slightly above average. Maybe the only reason I don't want to put it in the tier above is because it's doesn't quite have the reputation that Muay Thai, kickboxing, and Judo have, in my opinion. So slightly above average is where Kudo is going to go. Krav Maga. Now, Krav Maga is a weird one because some of the things I have seen of Krav Maga is really good, but some of the things I've seen is absolutely diabolical. I'm going to go ahead and put Krav Maga in this 50-50 chance. Again, I don't like all these little intricate locks and holds and where they twist and turn their wrist and put them all in these little locks. They're never going to work, realistically. That is why Krav Maga is going in a 50-50 chance, because it's a 50-50 chance on whether you've trained it in the correct way. I've seen some stuff where it's similar to boxing, the way they move out the way and their movement, footwork and stuff, which is good. So if you train it sort of like that in a more realistic sense, then yeah, that would be a good art to have to defend yourself. But on the other side, all these silly little things that I've seen, I did a video on it and I saw some of these things in that video. I'm going to put that at 50-50 chance. Aikido. I'm sorry, everyone. It has to go there, in my opinion. Again, I'm not disrespecting this art in any way. Also, can I just say, just run away, bro. That's just like a joke. In any scenario, you should run away. I'm not saying just if you do these arts, you should run away. In any scenario whatsoever in self-defense, first option is always to run away. So I'm just going to put that out there. This is just for more comedic effect. Just run away, bro. So just a little tip. No matter, even if you do boxing and MMA, even if you're up the top, first option is always to run away. But yeah, Aikido, from what I've seen, it's not an art that actually focuses on being used in self-defense, really. It's more like a practice to help maybe discipline or just training the body. It seems very relaxed. It seems very fluid, but it just doesn't seem very effective in a real scenario, in my opinion. There may well be Aikido practitioners that could absolutely destroy me in a fight and could absolutely destroy anyone in the street that tries to attack them. But from what I've seen of Aikido, again, no disrespect, a lot of people don't even do it for the self-defense purposes, which is absolutely fine. But from what I've seen, I'm going to put this in the bottom tier simply just for self-defense. If it was another tier ranking list, Aikido may be up higher. But just for this tier list, that's where it's going. Lethwai. I believe this is just Muay Thai, which kind of includes headbutts. In my opinion, it's going to go up there with Muay Thai because adding headbutts, in my opinion, is not going to make it go up to the most effective, because headbutting is also just not the smartest thing to do anyway, because you could just knock yourself out. So maybe we'll put it there underneath, simply because headbutts may actually reduce its aura a little bit. Okay, that's a lie. No, we'll put it back up. We'll put it back up there. Wing Chun, Kung Fu. Sorry again, I'm gonna have to put it there. You're probably getting robbed. I feel a bit bad for labeling it this now, because that seems a bit like cruel, like saying you're probably gonna get robbed. I kind of take that back. Hang on, let me change it. Okay, there we go. I've made it a little bit kinder. Not the best for self-defense. We're going to put it in a little bit of a nicer way. So just for self-defense, I'm going to say Wing Chun is not going to be the most effective, simply because the strikes that they kind of do are more intricately performed. They seem to be more, obviously they're precise. I don't doubt that they're precise movements, but they don't seem very powerful. They don't seem like they could do some serious damage if you needed to. It's more like quantity, like hit them as many times as you can, from what I've seen, is what it looks like. Whereas if you look up at the top of the list, things like boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing, big, powerful strikes, you know, one strike could end it. That's the kind of thing you want in self-defense. Whereas something like Wing Chun, which is, again, I'm not a master, I don't know much about it, but from what I've seen, it's more about getting quantity of hits on the body and wearing them down maybe is not the best idea for strictly self-defense. I could be wrong though. I could be absolutely wrong. This next one doesn't have writing on it, but I'm assuming it's ninjutsu, because it's got a little ninja on there. So about to watch a little ninjutsu fight. Okay, we've got two guys there just about to fight, it looks like. Okay, so this is like a choreographed fight. Okay, so we had a little leg strike there and put him on the floor. This reminds me of Aikido a little bit. With the way that they're kind of both going with the movement and going with the flow and letting him take him over a little bit. Maybe a little bit of Krav Maga this reminds me of as well. Okay, there's throws in there. There are throws. He just made him do a backflip. Alright, oh, I've seen enough. Ninjutsu, I'm going to put it down there, I'm afraid. Because there were a few little things that I said earlier, like little intricate things that maybe won't work, and also he made him do a backflip. If you can make someone do a backflip in the street, I'll be very, very impressed. Next, we've got capoeira. I'm assuming this is capoeira. It might not be, but from this image here, I think that's what it is. Again, straight off the bat, I think I'm going to put it there. Because although it looks really cool, the art looks cool, the kicks are really cool. The way they fight, the style they fight, you know, where they're like really flowy and like almost like dancing a little bit. I'm not sure that would have the greatest chance in the street of defending an attack, or it's not really applicable. Obviously, again, I know the techniques and the movements definitely could be taken and used in the street, but maybe not in the strict capoeira form as they do it. Catch wrestling. Now, I'm under the impression, I think catch wrestling is basically wrestling, but with a few locks and holds that aren't allowed in wrestling, I think. I could be wrong. So I don't want to judge it too hard if I don't know completely what it is. But if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But for now, I'm going to put it there with wrestling because I think it's quite similar to like normal wrestling. This here, I don't know what this symbol is. No idea whatsoever. I might just be being thick here, but I have no idea what that is. So we're going to put it in... We're going to put it in 50-50. We'll roll the dice. We'll put it in 50-50 because I don't know what it is. It could be brilliant. It could be the next self-defense big thing. Cali Excrema Arnis, I think that says. I don't know really anything about this, but from the picture, there's two weapons. And fighting with weapons, you might not always have a weapon in the street. So just for that reason only, I'm going to put it in not the best. Now that is a bit of a guess. I am judging a book by its cover because I've seen the front picture of it as two weapons, so I'm assuming it's maybe training with weapons, and you're not always going to have a weapon on you in the street, so that's why I'm going to put it in not the best. Kempo Karate, again, I'm going to put that in the same bracket as normal, not normal, but like as karate, because for the same reason, 50-50 chance, some dojos teach it well, some dojos may teach it not well, like a Muk dojo, so 50-50 chance for Kempo Karate. Again, this red symbol right here, I don't really know what this is. So we're going to put that in 50-50. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know in the comments if you do know. Pencak Silat is the next one. We've got a little Pencak Silat video to watch here. Okay, this looks... It looks like point fighting, but more full contact. Okay, so you got like sweet takedowns there. Nice little spinning sweep there. That was pretty cool. Okay, so it looks like they're in a little area, and am I right in saying you have to get the opponent out of the area, or just take them down? Yes, oh, maybe there, because he looked like he was trying to stay in the area. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. Okay, well it looks like they're using most things. They're not really using punches that much though. This is what I'm noticing. From what I can see here, they're using kicks and throws a lot, but there is really little to no punching whatsoever. And in the street, it's not the most ideal thing to go straight in with kicks. Throws, yeah. Kicks, I'm not entirely sure about that. Looks like a good art. It looks like a fun art to watch though. So again, I'm sure the techniques there used could be applicable to bring over to something like MMA if you train punches as well. But just purely on the fact that I don't think I saw a single punch thrown there, I'm gonna say not the best. Is that harsh? Is that a bit harsh? Because I've put that below things that I didn't even know what they were. Okay, actually, I'm going to move those two symbols that I didn't know, I'm going to move them down to not the best, because I think it's a bit unfair to put them in 50-50 if I don't know what they are. Okay, Silat, I'm going to put in 50-50. Because the strike, the kicks were quite good. The throws were good. It was simply because of no punches. But that doesn't mean they can't punch. So we're going to go 50-50 for Pencak Silat. Okay, this next one here, Russian martial art. I think that's Systema. We've got a video here that's titled Systema in a Real Fight. Okay, what's going on? He's just abusing his partner there. Okay, well, no one's going to let you do that. I don't know why he's just standing there doing nothing. These are just like random strikes. That was just a slap. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Because really, so you're probably not going to be able to time it, so you can grab his stabbing arm and then come over the top. I don't know really about that. A chain. Oh yeah, that kind of looked like children playing. That didn't really look like any sort of self-defense. He just ducked. Anyone can do that. All right, Systema. Again, these videos I'm watching, I am only watching like 20, 30 seconds, so I could be being biased. But from what I've seen there, let me know if Systema is nothing like that. But from what I've seen there, I'm going to put that in not the best. Okay, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Again, same in 50-50, same reason for BJJ and Jiu-Jitsu. Kind of for the same reason, because it is similar to that in the sense that it would be very effective if it came to a grappling clinching scenario, which can happen. That's why I'm saying 50-50. It definitely can happen. Tai Chi up next. I'm going to put it here in not the best for self-defense for the similar reason for Wing Chun. I think it looks cool. It's obviously like a beautiful art, but it's there are not really any significant strikes, I don't think, or anything significant that would be something that could really do a lot of damage to an opponent in a very short period of time. So, which again is what you need for self-defense. So Tai Chi, I'm sorry, but it's going in not the best for self-defense. Sanda is up next. I sort of know what Sanda is. We're going to watch a video because I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so it looks like, okay, like kickboxing with takedowns. It looks like karate a little bit, actually, the way they're bouncing. So to me, it looks like karate. It looks like sport karate with a bit more contact, basically. Okay, a bit of clinching work as well. So it's a full contact striking art with clinching and throws as well. That was a nice kick. From what I saw there, I'm going to put Sanda in slightly above average. It looked like a fairly well-rounded striking / grappling clinching with throws. So I think slightly above average for that one. That Sanda looks good. Okay, lastly, we've got Sambo. I think is quite similar to Sanda. We're going to watch another video, but I think it is quite similar. Okay, this looks more like, they look more like they're wearing judo gis in this one. So maybe it's more focused on throws, grappling. It looks a bit like judo. Looks, okay. Judo with punches and kicks. This looks quite good, actually. They seem to be knees as well and takedowns. Okay, this looks quite good. Kind of looks like a mix between judo and wrestling with strikes as well. This is looking promising. I'm going to put Sambo in probably would work. I quite like that one. The reason I thought it looked like judo is because they were wearing thicker gis uniforms, and they were throwing like judo / wrestling, and they also had some good strikes in there. So that's why I'm going to say probably would work. Well, here is my completed list. Am I happy with it? I don't know. I feel bad for the jiu-jitsu guys putting that in 50-50 chance, but I'm sure you can understand why I've done that. It's not because I think they're not effective arts. It's because I think there's only like a 50% chance that it could come to grappling sort of range, which is where they would excel. So on the other off chance that it doesn't go to grappling and they're going to keep their distance and throw some strikes, then they may not be so effective. That is the only reason I put jiu-jitsu there. If it was MMA, it would be a lot higher up. Slightly above average, I've got wrestling in there. Do I put wrestling up a little bit? Basically, you might think I've been biased because I'm a striker and I've put pretty much all the striking arts in the top 2 brackets, but that is genuinely what I think is better in general, just in general, for self-defense, is the striking arts, because 99.9% of fights start on the feet, and that's where striking is done. And boxing is up the top because untrained people are going to throw punches, untrained people are probably not going to throw kicks. Even if you do know kicks, you might throw some leg kicks, but other than that, you're not really going to throw many kicks, or any. I wouldn't, personally. I'd stick to punches, and I don't even box. Boxing and MMA is going to be up the top. MMA simply because it just covers pretty much everything. So you can punch and you can grapple if you need to, and you throw, you can do generally most things. I'm considering putting that judo up there because judo is one of the better ones, I think, for self-defense in general, because one throw is all you need, really. And if you've got them in a grapple and you throw them and land on top of them, that is all you need to do, really. You've knocked the wind out of them. They can't really move. So that is why I think judo is really effective. I feel like that maybe should be going higher. And then Muay Thai, kickboxing, Lethwai, Sambo, solid striking arts. It is simply because of the kicks, really. The fact that it's not solely focused on punches that I've put those in probably would work. Whoever you are, whatever you do, the first option is always to run away. Never try and fight on the streets if you don't have to. 100%. My first option, if I was in danger, would be to run away. I'm not going to stand there and fight if I don't need to. But yeah, there is my finished list. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how you feel about it. Let me know how you feel about it. Again, no offense, please, to anyone. And please don't come at me and try and throw hate at me for this list. This has just simply come out of my own opinion. My opinion is not gospel. So that is my list. Thank you for watching this video, and let me know what other tier lists you'd like me to do in the future, because I want to do some more of those. I quite like doing that. I quite enjoyed that. So whether it's martial arts that can be used in MMA that are best for MMA, I can do a tier list on that, or martial arts, I don't know, that look the best style points for martial arts. There are so many tier lists that I could do on this, and I quite like doing that. Again, if you're interested in getting your kicks higher and improving your flexibility, then check out the first link in the description for my flexibility program. You will not regret it. Let me know what you thought of this list and this video, and I will see you in the next one.